All right, just about 5:30 on the dot. So we are going to get going here. We're going to start off, like I said, we're going to stretch out a little bit together to get ourselves ready to go, ready for action today. So if you're just getting on now or you're just joining us live now, we're going to make our way down onto our backs to get started today. So we're going to get a good stretch in from laying down flat on our backs. And I was mentioning to some of you guys over the course of the last couple of weeks, but I'm coming back from an injury right now. So my left knee is torn MCL, a dislocated kneecap. So I'm going to be modifying a decent amount of our movements today. I'll get through probably 80-90% of what we're going to be doing, but I'll talk you through whatever I can't get through. And this just serves a good purpose to let you know that you can modify from these exercises whenever you need to. All right. But like I said, as you're making your way in here now, I want you to make your way down onto your back. And I just want you to hug your knees up to your chest for the first minute of this workout. So we're laying down flat on our backs. We're applying a little bit of pressure onto our knees, but we're just allowing ourselves to get grounded and focus on our breathing right now this first minute. The breathing is our focus as we're into this still position here. We're laying down flat on our backs. That little bit of a pressure that we're applying to our knees is allowing the weight of our legs to give a good stretch to our lower back. Like I said, I wanted to take this first minute to get grounded to the earth here, but also just bring some intentions and bring some purpose to my workout for this day. So no matter where you're at, coming from this week or this month or this day or this year, you're at least here with us right now. So this next 45 minutes is dedicated towards getting the most out of this workout that you can and becoming a 45-minute better version of yourselves in the process. All right. So continue holding your right knee, let your left leg fall all the way down to the ground. My left leg is down all the way down. Both of my hands are just pressed into this right knee to feel that good stretch through this right hamstring, this right glute. But not just about this right side. I want you to think about that left leg and extending down into the ground, down into the earth to feel that good stretch through that left hip flexor, that left quad as well. Stillness is the mentality of the first couple of minutes of this workout. Like I said, the purpose of that is just to get grounded, get ourselves focused and ready into the movement that we are going to make our way into soon. But in the meantime, we get the same equal and opposite stretch on the other side. I bring my left leg up. I apply that little bit of pressure to the front of this left leg, so the shin or the knee itself, to feel that stretch through the left hamstring now. But just like I said on the other side, we want to don't forget about this right leg that is down and connected to the ground. Think of pressing the back of this right hamstring down into the ground. And in doing that, it's lengthening this whole right top of this leg, the hip flexor, the quad even, is just getting pressed down into the ground. Good. Bring both feet flat, knees bent now. I want to come through some hamstring swings. I want to extend my left leg out, and I want to swing that left leg up towards the sky just to feel that little bit of a stretch through that hamstring on this left side. Go from static stretching, which is what we did when we were staying still and focusing on our breath, just focusing on getting grounded, transitioning into dynamic movements like a hamstring swing on both sides, is going to get ourselves ready for the movement that we're going to include throughout this workout. Looking for about 8, 10, 12 reps, anywhere around there, maybe 15 if you're going a little bit faster. And then we switch sides together right now. Same thing on that other side. That right leg is out straight. That leg swings up towards the sky. We're giving some attention to that hamstring here. Good. Find that stillness once again. And I want to come through a bridge position now. So I want you to have both feet flat, knees bent. Heels are up close towards the butt if we can. And as I press up and bring my butt and hips off the ground, I want to hold it up there for a good solid full exhale of my breath. Inhale, come down and control. Exhale, come up nice and slow once again, holding it for almost a 3 count with each exhale that we come up. Down, slow, back up. That's our 3rd rep here. Only looking for about 8 reps this first time through. But we bring some attention to the stillness and the holding of this bridge at the highest point of it. hamstrings, glutes, getting fired up through the holding of this position. The hips are getting lengthened with the higher up that we're able to hold it. One more rep here, hold it at the top with that exhale. Come down, and now we look for a little bit of a lower ab crunch. Same thing, nice and slow this first time through. It's a bent leg, lower ab crunch, where my knees are bent, my heels are touching the ground, and my back is flat the whole time. Your head could be laying down, rested on the ground as well. No movement of the upper body here. It's all about the movement of these bent legs. It's a bent leg raise, basically, but we call it a flat back lower ab crunch for the purpose of our workouts in here. So flat back lower ab crunch, looking for about 12 reps. And what I want to do is I want to come through all three of those movements again. So find that stillness for a breath if you need to. Extend that left leg out straight and swing that left leg up towards the sky. Hamstring swings. I'm going a little bit slower on this side. Like I said, modifying for my injury here. So I'm turning this into just like a leg raise instead of a leg swing. But you could swing that tension out of that hamstring a little bit of a quicker pace than I'm doing here. That's why I'm saying anywhere between 8, 10, or 12 reps is where I want you to get. And then we get that same thing on the other side. Let's switch sides right now and get right after it on this right side. Hamstring swing on that right side, starting to shake some movement into what we're doing here. Shaking some energy into ourselves. Our Wednesday night workout for those of you that are here live with me, but an anytime workout for anyone jumping in on the archives or whenever you're seeing this. Still, the purpose is becoming a better version of ourselves. We're here to do it together. Feet flat, knees bent. We are back for those bridges now with a little bit of a quicker pace. So we come up, only hold it for that exhale, and then come right back down. Lightly touch the butt to the ground and then come back up. Looking for about 10 or 12 reps this time through. A little bit of a faster pace than that last time here, but still focusing on the glutes and the hamstrings with the strength of this movement. Good, that flat back lower ab crunch once again. We're coming through for the second time. We are looking for more reps out of it. It's that bent leg raise. Knees up to the elbows, arms are crossed, and we are moving and activating those lower ab muscles here. That's good. Let's make our way over to a child's pose for the first time now. Knees are nice and wide. If you haven't been doing this with us here, knees are really wide, big toes together and back, and we allow the hips to sink back onto the heels. And we find some stillness, just like we did in that first position of the day when we were laying down flat on our back. We want to find some stillness in our child's pose. And again, allow ourselves to get grounded to the earth. Bring some focus to your breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Already now, we're only 5 minutes into this workout. It's just a little bit of a flowing stretch to what we're doing. But already you're feeling yourself start to think more positive thoughts than negative thoughts. Inhale in this child's pose one more time. Exhale, flow forward to a baby upward facing dog. My knees are down on the mat here, so I'm comfortable. My elbows are towards my rib cage, and I'm pressing the upper body up off the mat, trying to lengthen the top half of my body here. Inhale, come back to that child's pose once again. The second time we come through it, we're able to sink down a little bit deeper into it. Hips are back and down onto the heels. Knees are really wide, but allow those arms to be way outstretched in front of you. Inhale, exhale, come back to that upward facing dog one more time here. Looking over that left shoulder right away now. And as we do, we feel that right hip lengthen a little bit. Inhale, exhale, switch sides. We look over that right shoulder. As we do, we feel that left hip lengthen a little bit. Back to neutral and find a neutral tabletop position now. So that means my knees are right under my hips. My hands are right under my shoulders. My back is flat. Inhale, drop the pelvis and look forward. Exhale, round the back, look down between the legs. just about 5, 8, 10 reps of these cat-cows at your own pace, exaggerating that motion as much as you need to. From our stillness to our movement, just like our first couple of exercises, the stillness in that child's pose, in that upward facing dog, the slight little movement of these cat-cows is getting the shoulders, the core, the hips all loosened up and ready for movement. Speaking of those shoulders, let's find a stillness in this tabletop. Let's turn our right hand towards our left wrist and twist open towards the sky to feel that right arm, that right shoulder get a good stretch here at the top. Down and up, we look for that static movement here. Come under the body, give yourself a pat on the back for showing up to this workout. Way up and open at the top, feel that pec, that shoulder, even that rib cage really twist open at the top. Inhale as you come down and then exhale as you come up with each rep. Time there, let's do that same thing on the other side. Left arm comes up and open at the top. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Almost feel that bottom hip try to struggle to come under the body. Good, let's make our way back to that child's pose one more time. Knees wide, big toes together and back. Inhale, exhale, we stay here in this child's pose. Inhale, exhale, flow up to that baby upward facing dog. Only here for one breath. Our inhale, our exhale pushes back to our downward facing dog for the first and only time that we're going to get here. So allow yourself to find some stillness here at first. This downward facing dog is an inverted V with your hips being that tippity top point. The hips are the highest point, almost allowing the body to shift back towards the legs. From stillness, we go to walking in place as slow and as steady as your body allows. Feeling that stretch to that calf and Achilles. If one side's feeling tighter than the other, feel free to stay there for an added rep or added breath. And land down onto those hands and the knees and make your way back over to a seated position. Our first strength circuit is going to take place all from the flat back prone position here, where we're going to do a flat back chest press for 15 reps or 30 seconds, whichever comes first, followed by a flat back skull crusher. So we're really going to try to toast the upper body with this first circuit, closing it up with a flat back upper ab crunch. So I'm going to tell you all three of those movements. We're going to try to come through all three of those movements for 3 sets at 30 seconds or 15 reps for each set that we come through. All right. It's straight strength work the whole rest of the way today. We got a good long warm up in. It's going to cut into our strength work a little bit, but that is okay. A flat back chest press is where we start. I want you to grab those weights. Our timer is going to keep us honest, but like I said, we're shooting for anywhere between 10 and 15 reps, or even maybe more than that if you can. Ready? 3, 2, 1. It's 30 seconds of that chest press, and it started right there. Let's go. Let's do it. Down and up we go. As soon as those triceps touch the ground, you are back up. Time, but we stay right flat on our back for those skull crushers. Turn those palms so that they're facing each other. If you can go with 2 dumbbells, great. We hinge at the elbows so that the weights come down slightly overhead. Then we press those weights up and away from the body, up towards the sky, squeezing the triceps. Now, if that transition wasn't tough for you in this first set, it will be tough by that second and third one, I promise you. Toasting the arms here. The chest, the shoulders feel both parts of these movements, but the triceps want to take over on this skull crusher, and that's what we're looking for. Flat back, upper ab crunch. My knees are up. My fingertips are around my ears. I'm allowing my shoulder blades to come off the ground with each rep that we come through here. It's the opposite of that ab exercise that we did in the warm-up, and the goal is to target the upper abs. We are off and running with today's workout. That timer is keeping us honest throughout this whole circuit, throughout all of our strength circuits. And that buzzer takes us back to that chest press. Right now, let's do it. Control those dumbbells at all times, but looking for more reps this second set through. Control, but pace. If you need to go to a single dumbbell, that is absolutely fine for these skull crushers. Just turn that dumbbell the wide way. Hinge at the elbow and press that weight or those weights up away from you. Squeezing those triceps with every rep here. Allow those triceps to take over this movement. It's meant to. Like I said, those shoulders might feel it more. But that's okay. It's just more reason to focus on the triceps. 12, 15 reps, somewhere around there on that 30-second buzzer. Upper ab crunch. We are back to it. Legs don't move, barely at all. Elbows to those knees. Shoulder blades off the ground. And again, it's more reps this second time through. Let's get to work here. Two sets down, one set to go. We got to grab those dumbbells one more time. It's that chest press. Let's get to it here. Burn them out this time. More reps. Greater than 15 if we can. There's my 15, and there's my extra, that gravy on top, that cherry on top. Then right into those skull crushers. Let's keep it going here, skull crushers. Control with the triceps. Once again, it's at least 10 reps. Greater with those reps, this second and third sets of this circuit. And we burn out those upper ab crunches with as many reps in as you can. In 30 seconds, that buzzer just went. Those shoulder blades off the ground. Let's go, let's work. Time. Each circuit we come through, 3 exercises, hopefully 3 sets of every circuit. We might have to cut it down to 2 as we near the end, but that's okay. 3 sets, 3 exercises. Each circuit takes 4.5 minutes. We got 30 seconds to recover only. Making your way up to standing. We're going to be doing a bent over row next. So your heavier set of dumbbells if you can, little bit of bend in the knees, back is flat. I'm going to be doing these from a seated position, but I want you doing them from a standing position, hips back, back flat, bent over rows. That buzzer is our start. Let's get to it right now. Drive those elbows straight up and down. Squeeze those shoulder blades. It's a bent over row that you are doing from either a parallel stance or a split stance with the feet, meaning one foot in front of the other. But any way you could do it to keep your back flat and drive those elbows up. Good. Let those weights down for a breath if you want to. But then we're grabbing them right back for our bicep curls. You are doing these standing as well. But me, I'm nice and comfy and cozy in my seated position here. Sometimes, though, a modification like this, it's good for my injury, my knee, but it actually makes the form a little bit tougher. Sometimes when you're standing, you allow the legs to kind of shift. You allow the hips to hinge a little bit more. So this is making it tougher on me, but you want to think about that while you're doing your curls. Time. We are ready for our calisthenic. Our first one of the day is mountain climbers. 20 seconds only of them. We are down into it. 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Mountain climbers, you are far and wide between the feet from a high plank if you can. Landing that front foot if you can. Modify to just holding a high plank if you need to. Either way, we're back up to standing. Bent over rows, we are back to it now. Let's go. Stick that starting position. Drive those elbows up, control down. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Modification of reps is fine, but that form is our focus. 12 reps, somewhere around there. We are ready for those curls. There's that buzzer. Let's get after it. Bicep curls once again. Like I said, we're shooting for anywhere around that 12 to 15 rep mark. On these mountain climbers, if you can't do them, do something else. That's the modification that we're looking for. A good modification for these mountain climbers is a high plank hold. So come to that high plank. That's what I'm going to do. But if you can do those mountain climbers, you're doing them right now. It's 20 seconds only. If you modify to holding a high plank, maybe you're trying to tap this left foot forward, then tap that right foot forward. Just to modify, but simulate that mountain climber that everyone else is doing. Time. 2 sets down. 1 set to go. Bent over rows. Let's go. Eight, 10, 12 reps, somewhere around there. Bent over rows to our bicep curls. 3, 2, 1. Burn out those biceps now. Let's get after it here. Failure is welcomed in our strength training. We want to find it. We want to approach it when we can. If you're not at least approaching it, then that means you might be able to try heavier dumbbells the next time. Or your form might be faltering and you're not even paying attention to it. So make sure that you're burning out these biceps now. Third and final set of our bent over rows, it's done. Our bicep curls is done. Our mountain climbers, we are back to it for 20 seconds right now. Let's go. 20 seconds only. Moving those feet, modifying if you need to, but finding ways to stay working. Amelia Joyce Walsh is working in there. I see you. Everybody's working. Making the most of our time here. Time, that's good. Recover. 40 seconds of our recovery now. Our first 2 circuits, if we think about it, we tackled the chest, the triceps, the back, and the biceps. What we're missing out so far to make a good full body lift are the legs and the shoulders. That's going to be our focus of this circuit coming up. Our legs is going to be loaded or body weight squats. Loaded or body weight squats. I'm going to do sit to stand squats on my chair over here. You can do the same if you need to modify, but anywhere around 10 or 12 reps is what we're looking for. You can modify these as much as you need to, but either way, we are starting right now. Let's do it. Allow the arms to do what they need to. If they want to swing forward as you're coming down to these squats, allow them to. If you want to find some stillness and mimic a front squat, you could have your arms crossed here. If these are easy, and your name is Archie Walsh, and you want to hold a dumbbell up here on your shoulders, you can do that as well. That's good on those squats. Exercise number 2 is a shoulder press. You guys are doing these standing, split stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, pressing those weights up. But once again, I'm going to modify to my seated position here. 8, 10, or 12 reps, somewhere around there. And we are steady and we are strong and only getting stronger throughout this workout here. 8, 10, or 12 reps. And our third and final exercise of this circuit is to strengthen that core. Once again, I want to come to a forward forearm plank, and I want you to hold that plank for the whole 30 seconds here. Elbows and balls of the feet. We stick and hold that plank and we find that stillness. My elbows are down on the ground, my forearms, my wrists, my fingertips are all down on the ground. Just the balls of my feet are on the ground as well. Building some tension through the midsection. But the glutes are engaged as well. And that is what this circuit looks like. We are back up for those squats right now. 8, 10, or 12 reps, or whatever you can manage. Because I'm slowing down big time on this one, and that's okay. Looking for progress in my own routine. I'm not going to break any records for a little while, but that's okay. It's the comeback story, though. I'll get back out there. I'll get back up there. But right now, all I'm worried about is getting back to that shoulder press with you guys right now. 8, 10, or 12 reps. We are back to it. Let's do it. Burning out those shoulders. A lot of arm work so far in this circuit. Ready to beat that buzzer down to that forearm plank once again here. I'll show you the movement that I want for this plank from the standing position. If I'm in my forearm plank right here, what I want to see is a straight leg raise. Just raise that heel up towards the sky while maintaining that forearm plank. Straight leg raise, straight leg raise. Follow the foot. The longer that leg is off the ground, the better. Two sets down, 1 set to go. We are back for those squats. Transition up safely but quickly. Squats. Back to it. Let's do it. Raising that progress in your own routine now too. And looking for ways to increase it, ways to improve as we get through this workout. Maybe that's more reps. Maybe that's more weight. Maybe that's better form. Shoulder press. Grabbing those weights. Burning out those shoulders while controlling the decline of those dumbbells. Well, reps somewhere around there in that shoulder press, and you are down to beat that buzzer, that forearm plank one more time. In that forearm plank, instead of that straight leg raise, it is a knee crunch towards that same side elbow. Right knee crunches up towards that right elbow. Left knee crunches up to that left elbow. I'm planking on the air right here to show you. Actually, just walking in place. Good movement for my knee right now. Another 3 exercises, another 3 sets. Another 4.5 minutes of work done to get 30 seconds recovery only. Yeah, there to it. Breathing, recovering. Our next circuit brings us down to a child pose to get ourselves ready to go. Focus of this comes back to our chest and our triceps. Ready for our push-ups. Archie, you know how to do push-ups? Let's jump down and get ready. We are in our child pose if we were there to recover. But I want you to try to do these push-ups from the balls of your feet in the hands if you can at first. Even if that means you only do a half of a push-up from a high plank to the ground. Then modify and go from your knees if and when you need to. But we are looking for 12 reps only this first set. 12 reps only should give us plenty of time to get up to standing. We are coming to a bent over tricep extension. Split stance here for you guys. Once again, I'm going to make my way down to a seated position, but it's a bent over tricep extension where we press those dumbbells back behind us. Squeezing those triceps throughout every inch of this movement. It's not that curl forward, it's that press back. Third and final movement of this. Jumping jacks, or some variation of it. Obviously, I'm not going to do the jumping jacks just because I told you I'm battling back from that knee injury. But you could do step jacks if you need to. You could walk in place if you need to. You could do a single leg balance if you need to modify. Look for modifications if and when you need to. But I see everyone getting that work in, whatever you need to do it. And that is what this circuit looks like, from those jumping jacks back to those push-ups. Right now, let's do it. Down to it, and we are strong through it now. At least 12 reps. More like 15 if you can this time. But that failure is welcomed once again. Push-ups to our bent over. Tricep extensions. Buzzer just came and went. Let's get to it here. Midway point of this second set. Midway point of this circuit altogether. Over halfway done with this lift now. A ton of strength work, and you are getting more out of it with the more that you put into it. The more focus to your rhythm, the more focus to your movement. Push-ups, bent over, tricep extensions, jumping jacks, or some variation of it. Walking in place, marching in place, running in place, jumping jacks, or a single leg balance. Woo, baby. Doing great now, keep it going. Still gonna turn the second half of this workout into the better half of this workout, the second half of this week into the better half of this week. From those jumping jacks back to those push-ups. Third set, we are back to it. Push-ups, 12 reps. Well, reps of failure, welcome in. Gossie's giving me those kisses of motivation over here. Give yourself that kiss of motivation. Push-ups to bent over extensions. Third and final time through it. Battle through any difficulties that you're trying to come across right now. We had stomach bugs going through this house, viruses, mental viruses going between my ears. But you gotta battle through it. Get back to your routine, to your rhythm, to your people that make you more positive. For me, that's you guys. We made it back here. One more time with those jumping jacks. Get back to it now. 30 seconds of them. Let's work right through the end of this circuit here. Time, we are recovering. 30 seconds to recover. I know you might feel like you want to close that computer. Archie Walsh is getting tired over there. He's trying to turn it off, get to dinner time. We're not there yet, though. We're almost done with this workout. You're drinking up some water right now if you need it. This next exercise is going to be tough coming from those push-ups that we just did. But what we're looking for is a high plank to an alternating arm row. Now, a high plank means you're on the balls of your feet, hands on dumbbells, driving those elbows straight up and down. If that's too tough, do that from your knees if you need to. Modify if and when you need to. We are ready to work. High plank, alternating arm rows. Let's get there right now. Go. High plank rows. One arm row, we switch back and forth. Drive that elbow straight up. Control, keep that back nice and flat. Like I said, modify and go from your knees if and when you need to. But control those dumbbells. I don't want you punching any dents into your hardwood floors here. I want you controlling so that your transition up to standing right now to your hammer curls is nice and smooth. Standing hammer curls for you guys at home. Seated hammer curls for me. In our third and final exercise of this circuit, we're targeting the back, the biceps, and the legs here. Is going to be a straight leg deadlift. So with a single dumbbell or two dumbbells, a little bit of bend in my knees, all I want to do is allow that dumbbell to ride right down my legs and come right back up to standing. That bend in my knee doesn't change throughout this movement. And I want you to think about tightening up these glutes and the hamstrings throughout this movement here. Slow it down. Using two dumbbells if you can, one dumbbell if you need to. or just your body weight on this one is fine too. Those are called good mornings. Good morning, good evening, good night. We are back to those bent over rows, alternating arm rows from your knees or from that high plank, better yet if you can. Control those dumbbells. Time up for those hammer curls. Let's get back to it now. Hammer curls, palms facing each other. Keep going, keep working. 12 to 15 reps, so 30 seconds, whichever we can get done. See. From that hammer curls to that straight leg deadlift. One dumbbell or two, or just body weight is fine as well. Like I said, these are called good mornings. With my injury, this is just a fine enough stretch. But with the more weight that you hold, the more strength you'll get out of this movement than stretch. Stretch is fine for me at this stage of the game. I'm feeling these just with my body weight here. Only around 8 or 10 reps max. That's how slow I want you going through this movement. And ready for those alternating arm rows. Set number 3 just started right there. Let's go. Let's do it. Not worried about how many reps we're getting, just worried about that steady and control of the dumbbells. High plank, alternating arm rows, to those hammer curls, up into it. Now let's get through it. Hammer curls, third and final set. Let's go. If and when these become too difficult, go to that alternating arm curl. So you get fewer reps in, but the form stays there as we approach our failure. At this stage of the workout, at this stage of the game, that failure is coming quicker, and that is okay. Like I said, it's welcomed. Straight leg deadlift, slow that movement down. Third and final time through it. Dumbbells sliding down the front side of those legs. Glutes engaged. Back is flat throughout the entirety of that movement. 8, 10 reps, or this 30 seconds is all we are looking for. We got time for one more circuit of the day. But first, it's 30 seconds to recover, and that's right now. 30 seconds to recover. Till end of this workout. Talking some energy, some positivity into yourself. We got to target the shoulders. We got to get one more exercise in for the core, some ab strength, and then some cows to close out this workout, okay? Shoulder strength is going to be a standing upright row. One dumbbell or two, palms facing in, feet are parallel. Palms are facing in towards my quads. I lead with my elbows to make a V with my forearms and come straight up and down the body. No hinging at the hips here to get any help from the hips or the back. This is all targeted to that forward part of the shoulder. 12 to 15 reps is what we are looking for. And so far, we've done a flat back lower ab crunch, a flat back upper ab crunch, and the third variation of that is going to be our flat back full body crunch. Knees could be bent for the entirety of this movement. My heels are on the ground while my elbows are on the ground. My elbows meet my knees over the midsection here. Trying to get those shoulder blades off the ground with each rep. Controlling on the way down and on the way up, like everything that we do. 30 full seconds of this movement. So don't even worry about how many reps you're getting. Just worry about that control of your movement. 30 seconds of our flat back full body crunches. Right over and right up for any version of a burpee that you could do right now is what I want you to do. And it's only 20 seconds this first time through. So a burpee, a modified burpee is fine. A low impact burpee, a high plank, back up to standing, stand tall. But if you can jump those feet back, I want you to jump those feet back. If you want to add in a push up at the bottom, you can add in a push up at the bottom. You want to add a jump at the top, After that squat, you can modify, but then look to burn out if and when you can. Time, that's good. A deep breath, and we grab those dumbbells back to those upright rows. Palms facing in, leading with those elbows straight up the body, controlled movement. After that high intensity cow, those high intensity burpees. This is what our last circuit looks like. Nothing new getting thrown at you. Nothing to stress about. Only this victory lap of our last 2 sets of the day. Upright rows to our flat back full body crunches. And if these were easy for you last time, maybe come to those full body crunches where you balance on the butt here. Elbows to knees still, but the legs stay off the ground. Stay with that modified flat back crunch because that was by design for today's workout. But if you're looking for extra, go to those full body crunches. 30 full seconds, and we know what's coming at that buzzer. It's those burpees. How are you thinking about it right now? Look to tackle it. Transition over right to those burpees right now. Let's do it. A burpee is just getting down and then getting back up. You modify that to stepping back to that high plank if you need to, but you look to get more out of this if you can. If that means a push up at the bottom, try to mix one of those in. If that means you're just looking for more reps, more pace out of this, look to do that as well. If you are just trying to survive through this, that is okay too. Time, good. One more time to those upright rows, really carefully grabbing that dumbbell, sticking that starting position, making sure your breathing is controlled, and slowing down this movement for our last time through it. Our last 90 seconds of this workout, of the strength portion of this workout, we start to think about what we accomplished in it and how we feel near the tail end of it compared to how we felt at the beginning or how we felt about it looming over us before we did this workout. Down to those flat back crunches. This is the thought and the feeling that you want to try to bottle up and remind yourself of. How much better you feel about yourself, about your body, how much better your body feels, how much better your mind feels after 45 minutes of movement. It's hard to think about when you're not in it. But when you accomplish it, you have those endorphins released. And let's release a few more with our last 30 seconds of those burpees. Any variation of it, you know what it looks like, you are down to it. High plank is fine, but mix in a push-up or two if you can. High plank standing tall is fine, but maybe try to jump up to standing a time or two. But look for anything to just build off the positivity of your movement from this 45 minutes that we accomplished here together. Last one, last rep, always room for one more rep. Time, that's good. Make your way down to a seated position here. We made our way through a full body lift here with time to just come into a single stretch for about a minute for our hamstrings, a single stretch for about a minute for our groin, and then a single stretch for about a minute on our quads, just to kind of tie this all together. So I want to come through a L position stretch for the hamstrings, very basic, but it's a comfortable one that I want you to get into. It's way up towards the sky with the arms straight up over the shoulders. Exhale, just allow the body to fold over and allow those hands to just land wherever they may on the legs, on the shins, on the knees, down to the ankles or onto the heels of the feet. Wherever you land is where your body's telling you to land right now. Don't try to push through anything too much. If anything, we're looking for gratitude from our body right now. 45 minutes of a good stretch, but then some high intensity stuff. We're grateful for all that our body's given us here. We want to look to translate that into positive thoughts through everything else in life, right? So we made it through this workout, we can make it through anything. Made it through this day, you can make it through anything. Made it through this week, whether you had the stomach bug, whether someone in your classroom had the stomach bug, whether you were sick or someone you know was sick, or whether you had a pretty good week altogether. This is the feeling that you want to bottle up, that you could get through anything and you could feel better than you did before. Good, come out of that hamstring stretch. I want to come through a little bit of a groin stretch where the soles of the feet come together, or at least close together. And I want you to take the hamstrings out of this to get a lower back stretch and a little bit of a groin stretch as well. So I'm going to take my right hand, let it come under my leg so that I can grab onto my right foot here. Then same thing with my left hand. So my hands are under my legs, grabbing onto somewhere on the foot so that I'm feeling a good stretch through my groin, but also my hips, if they're tight. It's a comfortable stretch for those body parts, but you're also feeling this in the lower back a little bit as well. If you're feeling it too much, come out of it a little bit. Let the hands just land on top of the feet. That's fine too. But again, praising the progress of where you are right now, listening to your body. Flexibility practice isn't trying to break records every time. It's about seeing where your body's at in this moment and looking to increase that flexibility inch by inch or day by day or week by week. But all that flexibility really is for us normal people. We're just looking to avoid injury. We're looking to get back from an injury. Or looking to get ourselves feeling better in different body parts of the body. Gonna close out this workout coming over onto my right knee. My left foot is forward. A good easy stretch here where I inch my left foot forward, both hands onto this knee here at first, releasing my right hand off. So I'm on my right knee, my right arm comes straight up towards the sky, getting as long as my body can be from here, as long as my body can be from my knee right through my hip, through these fingertips on the right side. If you're feeling this stretch pretty good, that's great. Then just try to think of taking this right hip and pushing it out towards the right side of the body a little bit more and reaching this right hand so the thumb comes over the head to get a little bit more out of this stretch here. Another breath or two here, and then we want to get that same equal and opposite stretch on the other side. So you're coming down onto the left knee, that right foot is coming forward. Both hands can come onto that front right knee first. Then that left arm comes up, straight up first. Inhale, exhale, and then allow that left hip to inch out towards the left side of the body while that left hand inches over the top of the head or towards the right side of the body. Here's that corny end of my workout, that corny joke. Who had a good workout today? I did. Everyone's hands up. We all did. Good job for showing up. Good job for getting it done. Way to do it. Now that you did it, look to bring somebody else into this feeling that you're having right now. Whether that means sending somebody a text or sending somebody an email, look to get somebody involved into the movement that you're doing because it adds for encouragement for them, accountability for you, and it brings more people into your realm of positivity. Great job, guys.